Welcome to Live to Lead, a program that is designed to help you and me to live lives of influence and impact. And this program comes to you with compliments from Bishop Ending Klapo, the founder and the general overseer of God Never Fails Revival Church, a ministry that is established to touch the whole world with the good news, the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ, setting people free from all manner of bondages. But this particular segment, Live to Lead, it focuses on leadership. And I'm so excited and so thankful to have been given this opportunity to host this particular segment. And today we are concluding our 7-part series, Resetting to Thrive in the New Normal. And we have dealt with 7 reset elements in the past few weeks. And today we conclude with the 7th reset element. Just to remind you what those elements are, the first is reset your sanity. The second is reset your sight. The third is reset your stage. The fourth is reset your sails. The fifth is reset your standards. The sixth is reset your scales. And today we'll be dealing with the 7th one, reset your sound. Before we get into this though, let us read our recurring verse that we have been reading throughout this 7-part series, Resetting to Thrive in the New Normal. And we read from Proverbs 22 verse 3 in the New Living Translation. And it reads, a prudent person, meaning a thinking person, a wise person, a thoughtful person, foresees danger and takes precautions. But the simpleton, meaning the one who does not think, meaning the one who is foolish, goes blindly on and suffers the consequences. We have used this verse to illustrate that the new normal, which is an inevitable consequence of a crisis, meaning a crisis always makes sure that there is no old normal to go back to, but there is a new normal to bounce forward to. This new normal, that is, it is called new normal because we have never seen it before. It can be a dangerous place. It can be an evil place. And what makes it dangerous or evil, it's not because it is dangerous and evil in itself, but it becomes dangerous because we are not prepared for it. It is unfamiliar. We are not used to it. There are new rules of playing the game, and it can be dangerous if we do not know the rules. There are new expectations from our customers, and it can become dangerous as we lose customers if we are not acclimatized to them. So that's what the Bible is talking about, that a prudent person foresees the danger and takes precautions. In the King James Version it says, and hides himself. The word hide there, it means you make sure that the unfamiliarity will not be harsh to you, will not be dangerous to you. It will not cost you something. That is a prudent person, foresees danger and takes precautions, meaning reorganizes himself. they reset their lives. They reposition themselves for this new normal, because if you don't, it will be a dangerous place. And indeed, the new normal can be another crisis to some people. You're getting out of crisis, you find yourself in a new normal, but you're not prepared for it. It can become so harsh to you that it is in fact another crisis, if not a worse crisis than the crisis that brought about this new normal. So it is important for you, therefore, to take precautions. And in this 7-part series, we have been helping you to take precautions by resetting. And like I've said, there are 7 elements of resetting. We have dealt with the first 6 in the past 6 series. Now, in this last series, we are dealing with the 7th one, and that is resetting your sound. Because if you don't, you are like the simpleton who goes blindly on, and they suffer the consequences. They are punished. Reset your sound is part 7 of resetting to thrive in the new normal. I've made a statement there that you need to be in a space where you are able to hear all and talk to all. And you are able to improve the clarity of your feed forward, which means the information you give to people, and feedback, meaning the information you get from other people. This really has to do with you improving strategic innovation, and we're dealing with customer matrix, meaning the different kinds of customers that you have in your life. You must be able to reach out to them, talk to them, and hear them, because they are different. That needs a resetting for each kind of a customer segment or a customer group. And of course, embracing diversity, because you have diverse members of your organization, you have diverse customers, you have diverse stakeholders, you have diverse kinds of people. And that is why you need to work on your sound system. So let's talk about this briefly, and then we close the discussion. Now listen to me very carefully. Here is a metaphor that will help you understand the need for resetting your sound. And maybe we'll just really talk about the metaphor without getting into details about other things. The details on the customer metrics, the details on embracing diversity, on improving strategic innovation, those you will get in my book, The Reset Blueprint: How Smart Individuals and Institutions Are Able to Survive a Crisis and Thrive in the New Normal. So the question is, what is this metaphor that I want to bring to you? The metaphor is that of you being in a marquee. So imagine you are in a marquee. It's a very important event. Let's say it is the inauguration of the president of the country. A newly appointed president is being inaugurated and is on stage, and he's speaking to the audience loud and clear. And all of a sudden, a storm, a tornado, or a hurricane, or whatever, a strong wind comes and blows against the marquee. And you are quickly evacuated out of this marquee. But fortunately, the tornado or the whirlwind has come and gone. It's a crisis that came and it went. Fortunately, the marquee was never brought down, it was just shaken. And the organizers, they see that it is now safe for you to recongregate, so they call you back. And there you are, as an audience or delegates, you are now seated and you are ready to hear the president continues with his speech. But watch something here. Before the president goes on stage and holds that mic again, you will see some young people, boys and girls, running onto the stage. They are called sound engineers. The media guys or whoever, they get onto the stage to go and recalibrate the sound system, the PA system. Why are they doing that? It's because the storm disturbed the PA system. The storm disturbed the sound system. The sound system was initially set, properly set. You know, when you go into these events, the sound engineers, they come long in advance, sometimes the night before, to set the sound, doing sound check and everything. So it was set properly before the storm, before the crisis came. But when the crisis came, it rattled things and it shook things and it took the sound system out of its proper setting. And if these guys don't get onto the stage to readjust the sound system, when the president takes the podium and begins to speak, he or she will find it hard to communicate to us. In fact, the ears of the delegates will be irritated. The same as a musician who is supposed to perform. They cannot perform until the sound has been adjusted again. But interestingly, sometimes the adjustment of the sound has nothing to do with just the storm. If we are using the same mic, the microphone that the president was using to speak, when it is now time for someone to render a musical item, even if there is no crisis, just moving that mic from a speaker to a singer, the sound guys will adjust that, because the setting for speaking is not the same as the setting for singing. Basically, what I'm saying to you is that if the old normal was a speaking situation and the new normal is a singing situation, regardless of the nature of the crisis or the event that has taken place, which has now changed the situation from old normal to new normal, there's a need for adjusting. Even if the system, the sound system, was not damaged, but because these normals are not the same, you must reset the sound. But it's worse if the crisis actually affected the sound system. So you might have been in a relationship and you went through a rough patch in that relationship. That rough patch, whatever it is, that messed up your relationship, has now affected the way you hear and understand each other. Should you reconcile and you want to continue with the relationship, you need to reset the sound so that you can hear and understand each other once again. If an organization has gone through a difficult time, and perhaps like during this time of the COVID-19 pandemic, people's salaries were halved in other organizations. And now the storm is gone, and you are coming back. Let me tell you something, the halving, the reduction in people's salary, even though there is some form of understanding that we're going through a difficult time, but I'm telling you, it has affected people's ability to talk to one another and hear or listen to one another. There's a need to recalibrate. And that recalibration may just take some conversations, a consultation. Let's talk about our experiences, some kind of debriefing in terms of what has happened to us and how are we going to move forward. The different stakeholders will need some recalibration, different recalibration of the sound, the resetting of the sound. You've got different kinds of customers. You need to reset in a different way for the different customers. If you want to improve strategic innovation, there's a recalibration and the resetting of the sound. Because you'll find that the way the sound was set before, we could not hear the singers. We only heard the speakers. And we only took the ideas of the speakers because it was calibrated only for the speakers, but not the singers. So the ideas of the musicians were never incorporated in our strategies, and we are missing out on their wisdom. Now, if you want to improve strategic innovation, I am saying you need to listen to many voices. You need to take many perspectives. You must reset the sound so we can also hear the singers, not only the speakers. We must reset the sound so we can hear even those who have got a softer voice. This is a very important thing. Can you hear and understand one another? Now that we have gone through crisis that has affected our hearing ability, even our speaking ability, our listening ability, our understanding ability, our comprehension has been messed up or affected. People who have been emotionally troubled, their hearing and their understanding also has been affected. And if we don't reset the sound, we will irritate one another as we speak. So even in that relationship, you have gone through a difficult time. If you do not reset, you may find yourself listening to each other with wrong ears, speaking to each other with wrong mouth or wrong voices because you have not reset the sound. It is important for you, therefore, that as you get into the new normal, ask yourself a question. Are there new customers which have got different ears from the customers that I had? Or are these customers the same, but now they are new because they have been affected by the crisis? They are emotionally different. They are financially different. So the way they listen is different from the way they used to. The same customers, the way they are listening now is different from the way they used to listen in the past. Therefore, I must reset the sound system because now I'm dealing with different customers. Either different because they are altogether different, they are new customers, or different because even though they are still the same customers, but their personality, or rather their mannerism has changed. Their consumerism has changed because they've been affected by what has happened. Now they are skeptical, perhaps. Maybe their attitude has been affected. They've got different expectations. They've got different needs. So when they are asking for services, they are asking in a different way. So now the sound system is important for me to be able to hear them. When they pick up the mic to talk to them, I must now readjust. Are they now complaining or they are complimenting me? Are they requesting or they are demanding? Those who are demanding, they need a different setting. Those who are requesting, they need a different setting. Those who are complaining, you reset differently. Those who are complimenting us, we must reset differently. The new normal gives you new customers. The new normal gives you new stakeholders. The very person you've been married to before the crisis, it's a different person after the crisis. Same flesh, but different attitude, different emotions, different feelings after the crisis. So if we are husband and wife and we had a child and the child died, after the death of a child, the partner you're dealing with is totally different from the partner you had before the death of the child. Let us not take crisis lightly. It affects our hearing ability and our talking ability and our comprehension ability. And there is a need to reset. And once again, as we close this 7-part series on resetting to thrive in the new normal, be reminded that there are 7 elements, reset elements. Number 1, reset your sanity. Number 2, reset your sight. Number 3, reset your stage. Number 4, reset your sales. Number 5, reset your standards. Number 6, reset your scales. And number 7, reset your sound. If you do these, I promise you, you will thrive in the new normal. You will not extend the crisis. You will not perpetuate the crisis. You will thrive in the new normal. If you want to learn more about our discussion on managing crisis, surviving the crisis, and thriving in the new normal, get hold of my book, which is a newly written book. It may not be available where you are at the moment, but look out and get information. You will get to know how to get hold of the book. It is entitled The Reset Blueprint. The Reset Blueprint. How smart individuals and institutions are able to survive a crisis and thrive in the new normal. This is, in fact, a toolkit for you to navigate change in your life and in your organization. I look at it as really having 2 manuals in there. The first manual, which is part 1 of the book, it's really a survival manual. And the second one, which is part 2 in the book, is a reset manual. You need to survive the crisis and thrive in the new normal. For you to survive, you have a survival manual in the book. And for you to thrive in the new normal, you have a reset manual in the book. And I want to bless you with that. So please get hold of that. And thank you so much for joining us, especially for lingering longer in this 7-part series. I hope you have enjoyed it. And of course, beyond this, we'll be having other subjects and other themes and topics that we'll be dealing with. But I'm so glad that you were part of this 7-part series on resetting to thrive in the new normal. Thank you for watching. Keep watching this program through the television as well as the YouTube channel. GNF YouTube channel and GNF live streaming on our Facebook platform. And of course, we encourage you to watch as teams, as clubs, and as groups, and as colleagues, and have a moment after the watching to have a discussion on this. If you can put aside just 1 hour, 30 minutes, just listen to the presentation, and then the other 30 minutes, you have a conversation on what you have seen or learned. It will take you very far. But we also need your support in terms of letting other people to join us, to watch us, to like our page, to like our platforms, so that that can translate into us getting money that can finance this television program. But of course, you can also support us directly using your finances, and the details are on the screen, and we'll appreciate your support. God bless you, and God bless your business. May God walk before you as a consuming fire, making your path to be straight and immediate. May God abundantly satisfy you with the fatness of his house. May he cause you to drink from the rivers of his pleasure. And may God breathe a sea of abundance in your direction. I wish you well with your leadership, with your business, with your organization, and with your life. Until next time, live a life of influence and impact.